Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the new Star Wars ToyBox First Order Stormtrooper and Rey figures from Disney. Now these figures are based on the designs from the Disney Infinity game. This is part of a new series of figures that came out a little over a month ago. I reviewed the Kylo Ren figure, which was also released in this first wave for Star Wars figures a couple weeks ago. And now I'm going to be taking a look at the Rey and the First Order Stormtrooper. So these come packaged in a pretty standardized card back. You've got the white and black coloring up in the corner. You've got the Disney Store logo because these are only sold at Disney stores. You can buy them both online and at their physical stores. Then you've got the figures clearly displayed. Off to the side, you've got the Star Wars ToyBox logo, and then down below, you've got the names of the characters. You also have stickers on the front blister that tells you what's included with each of the figures. On the sides of the packaging, you have artwork for each of the characters, and then on the back of the packaging, it's exactly the same with all the figures. You've got a little bio that tells you about the ToyBox line. Now, it also tells you that the Rey figure is #2 in the series, and the First Order Stormtrooper is #3 in the series. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So the accessories for these figures are pretty basic. With the First Order Stormtrooper, you just get a blaster, a typical Stormtrooper blaster with the black and white color like we always see with the First Order soldiers. And pretty nice detailing on this. Looks very similar to what we see with Hasbro figures and stuff. You've got the little magazine on the side. You got the scope on the top with some metallic silver. I will say that the gun is a little bent, comes a little bent out of the packaging with the way he was holding it in the packaging, so you might want to take a hairdryer and straighten that out a little bit if it bothers you. But otherwise, again, sculpting detail with this is pretty good. And then Rey just comes with a lightsaber. The blade is that translucent blue plastic. The blade is not removable from the hilt. And then you've got the silver plastic with the little red dot for a button. And then you've got some black on the end. So again, very basic, but does work well with the figures. Now the First Order Stormtrooper has 2 grip hands, so you can put the blaster in either the left or the right hand. It's really up to you. And he even has trigger fingers that you can use on either hand. And then the Rey figure has the right hand is made for gripping her lightsaber, and then the left hand is more of an open position. Looks like she's reaching out with the Force or something with the left hand. Okay, so for the figures themselves, as I mentioned before, these designs are based loosely on the Disney Infinity game and how the characters appeared in that. Now the game itself, which you can still play, no longer has figures actually being made for it. They basically discontinued that. And these figures, while they're based on those designs, are not meant to be used with the actual game. But that's why these figures have that kind of cartoony animated look to them, because again, they are based on those video game designs. And I like the overall look of the figures. The paint applications, while basic, are pretty solid. You got a little black on the rankings here on these dots on his chest, and you've got some additional black here. And then he's got the black on the eyes and everything for the Stormtrooper, and you've got some little squares sculpted in the helmet and some line work sculpted in there, so that looks pretty good. And then on the back, you've got the little circle and the 2 lines like we always see with Stormtroopers. He's got the little tube on the back of his belt, again like you always see with Stormtroopers, and he's got the pouch here. And this is all sculpted. The belt is a separate piece, but it's glued on the figure, so it doesn't really move on the figure. And then again with the armor, you've got the black and the white. So very clean looking. He's a very clean looking Stormtrooper. No scuff marks or anything like that on it. Like I said, the paint applications with these figures are pretty basic. And then with the Rey, again, she has that kind of animated cartoon look to her, but I do like the overall look. I like the way her hair is sculpted. So this is based on the outfit that you see her wearing in The Force Awakens. And she's got the sleeves, and you can see some of her arm up here near her shoulder, and pretty good skin tone. And then she's got the belt with the little pouch. She's got this little piece that hangs down, and this is done with a rubber type material. And then she's got the brown pants underneath that. And then she's just wearing the brown boots. So the First Order Stormtrooper is the taller of the 2 figures, and he stands at about 5 1/4 inches tall. And then Rey comes in close to about 4 3/4 inches tall. Here's a comparison with the Kylo Ren figure, which again I reviewed a couple weeks ago. I'll put a link to that review in the video description below if you want to check it out. But you can see here that Kylo Ren is the tallest of the 3. And here's a comparison with the Marvel Iron Man ToyBox figure. And for one last comparison, here's a look at a Hasbro 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure. This is a Black Series figure, but you can see that these ToyBox figures are taller. So articulation, starting with the Stormtrooper, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down pretty good, and he can look up a little bit, but he really has no pivot with the head. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, but even with the shoulder pads, he can still get his arm out pretty good. He's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He does not have a bicep swivel though. Does have a rotation at the elbow and has a single hinged elbow, so can bend his elbow about that much. Has rotation with the hand and hinges, so up and down movement there with the hand. Does not have an ab crunch, but does have a waist swivel. Legs can do the splits about that much, and then can get his leg forward about that much, and then do his leg back about that much. Does not have a true thigh swivel, but you do get a rotation up high there where the leg actually meets the waist piece, and then has a single hinged knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. Now with the Stormtrooper, you get a little bit of rotation, but because of the way the armor is sculpted, it really limits that movement. And then you have hinges on the feet, so up and down movement, but no rotation and no ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. And then with Rey, you can move her head to the left and to the right. She really doesn't have much in the way of down or back movement, especially with the hair, but she can pivot her head a little bit to the left and the right. Arms, again, attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good. She's got good rotation. She does not have a bicep swivel, but does have rotation at the elbow. Has a single hinged elbow, so can bend her elbow about that much. Then she has rotation at the hands and hinges, so up and down movement there with the hand. She has a waist swivel, but no ab crunch. Legs, she can do the splits about that much, and then she can get her leg forward only about that much. Her shirt kind of comes down over her legs, so it limits some of that movement. Same with the back movement. And then again, like with the Stormtrooper, she doesn't really have a thigh swivel, but you can rotate a little bit up there where the leg actually meets the waist piece. And then she does have more rotation at the knee than the Stormtrooper does. And again, only a single hinge knee, so can bend her knee about that much. And then with the feet, again, you have the hinges, so up and down movement, but no rotation and no ankle pivot. And 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I think these are pretty nice figures, especially if you're a fan of the designs from the Disney Infinity game. I think these are figures that you'll definitely want to check out. Now again, these are Disney Store exclusives. These figures normally cost $12.95 each. However, I picked these two up this past weekend at my local Disney store for $10 each. They were running a sale, so during the holidays you might be able to pick these up a little cheaper than normal. Now both of these figures, along with the Kylo Ren figure in the series, are available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There will be a link in the video description below. Also, if you like the space wall backdrops that are featured in this video, be sure to check out gtptoys.com. They're the ones that make those. And they have a variety of different sets that you can choose from for both 3 3/4 inch, 5 inch, and 6 inch. So again, if you like those, be sure to check them out. I'll have a link to them in the video description below. As always, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video and please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.